Hello and welcome to Divinely Guided 999. My name is Lynetta and I'm back with a message for today. So today's message is about someone having to take care of themselves at an early age. And this is why this person does things based off of just liking people all along. So before I get started with this message, excuse me. As always, I give thanks to the universe for guidance, protection, and assistance with this reading. So, this is someone that had a discussion with someone over the phone about an agreement I feel that two parents came up with. And the agreement is for this child to stay with the other parent. It may have been some talk between both parents about how there's not enough time for this parent to be there for this child in the way that they should show up for this child. And that's why this decision was made that this child go elsewhere. Well, not elsewhere, but with the other parent. This is a parent that has a spouse, and their spouse is someone that is out of their race. They're not in their own race group. But this child doesn't mind that. This child doesn't mind, the spouse doesn't mind being there, doesn't mind any of that. It's not like I love being here or I hate being here. This is a child that knows how to go with the flow of things. And a talk was had with this child as well to get this child ready when it comes to the change that is going to happen so that they are prepared and know exactly what they have planned for them. I feel like it's been talks about promises that have not been given. It could have been talks about the certain school that this child will be attending, moving, the relocation, and amongst a lot of other things. And it's some promises that has not been given to this child. I feel like whoever this parent is that decided to come up with this decision is because they felt like this was best for this child. But the other parent has their own things going on that this other parent doesn't know about, which is this parent putting others first before this child. That's the whole sole purpose of this child relocating in the first place. It's so that it can be some priority around taking care of this child. But yet, this other parent, isn't putting this child first either. It still goes back to this child having to take care of themselves. And that's because of this other parent entertaining other things. This other parent is indeed cheating on their spouse. They may have not already been in the best place when it comes to being in a relationship with their spouse. But this parent felt like they had to do the right thing as a parent. However, they still aren't showing up in the ways that they need to show up for this child. Because just like the other parent didn't have time, this parent doesn't have time either because they're putting other things first. And this could be them looking out for other people, doing other things, servicing other people, showing up for other people and other things, but they're not doing that for their child. And the things that they promised to show up for, they're not showing up. There's going to be some news about someone you knew passing away. And I feel like this is not a sudden, natural way of passing away, but where someone had done something to this person and people are asking for help to look for someone. And it may even be a reward behind knowing someone's whereabouts. Let me clarify this card real quick, and then I will complete this message for today. 1 second. Okay. So that's exactly what I thought it was. When I was speaking about how this person is cheating on their spouse because of on and offs and or relationship issues that they have with their spouse at the time. And this person can very much well be messing around with someone that the other parent knows. This is something that's been under wraps, like not being caught up about at all. And amongst some of the other promises, there was talk around how this child no longer has to be independent, how they will be able to do so many different things, and how they'll be doing things together. And it was just so much that was promised to this child. But yet, this child still end up in the same situation of taking care of themselves. It's as if though the other parent felt like it was best for this child to be with the other parent, just from the outside looking in. But like I said, this other parent don't know exactly what all this other parent has going on in their own personal life. But from the outside looking in, this is a decision that a parent made because they felt like it was the right decision. They felt like that this other parent can indeed offer this child every bit of what they even spoke about because they made an agreement. And the spouse of this person's is a good individual. This is someone that can be trusted around this child. So this is not someone that acts strange or someone that has to be like questioned or looked after when it comes to this child being around this other parent's spouse. I feel like this person's spouse could be too good for them. And that's the reason why they're having relationship issues, is because This person's spouse is someone that is a level-headed individual that acts strange. This is someone that is a level-headed individual, and it's issues that this other parent could be having within themselves that they try to hide and try to cover up, but it shows up in other areas in their life, which is why they don't show up where they should show up at. And that's a issue that is within this relationship with their spouse, and that's why that relationship is rocky. That's why it's, I wouldn't say it's a rocky relationship with this child, but that is why this parent isn't showing up as well when it comes to the child, because they have things that they need to work on themselves as well before they can show up for this child, this spouse, or anybody else. But for whatever reason, when it comes to being a service of anyone, this person will be a service of people in the community. I feel like it's to give a look of this person being a certain way. But when it comes to, if you talk to this person's spouse or this person's child, they have a different outlook, a different view on this person compared to people that are of the community, people that this person show acts of service to. I wouldn't I don't want to say that don't matter, but where literally, seriously, where it wouldn't even matter because they wouldn't mind if the person did or if the person didn't. But for the people where it does matter, this person is not showing up like how they should. And like I said, it's to give an image to others. There was already this talk with the child about having to go to different schools due to the move, due to having to relocate because of the decision that both of these parents came up with that they felt that was best. And there could have been some concern about how this child don't know anyone at the school and just some concern about that. But as I said, I feel as if there were so many things promised to this child that did not come into fruition. This person is no longer with the spouse that they were with due to them in their ways not being able to be faithful. And this spouse realizing that this person only does things because of the liking that they have for others, but not showing up where it matters. This person could have been promiscuous in ways where they tested positive for a virus, some type of STD or something, where they tested private, where they test. Okay, this could have been something that was kept private, all due to them being promiscuous. And it's sad to say because there's still a child left raising themselves at an early age, having to do everything, having to pretty much find and guide their own way. And it seemed like the person that cared was this spouse, but the spouse was only allowed and can only show up in ways that she could so that she or he won't overstep their boundaries. And I don't know why she came out because that was not intentional. So this spouse may very much well be a woman. And that will lead to this child showing up doing the same exact things as this parent, doing things for people due to liking them. Because this is what this parent does. And you heard of the saying, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. But hopefully this is something that can be corrected, because this is a sad situation, or at least it can turn into a sad situation. So that is the message for today. Thank you for watching. I close out this message giving thanks to the universe for guidance, protection, and assistance with this reading. And I will see you in the next one.